Even though Solo Sikoa is apparently managing Jacob Fatu, the star may just be alone at the moment in the biggest way. After tonight's show, his isolation was further solidified. The star has a lot to do still, as he's going to be defending the United States Championship in a fatal four-way match, something that may result in his losing the title. He has to put it on the line against Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Damian Priest tomorrow on WWE Backlash. The star has his work cut out for him, given that each of the stars will be bringing everything to the table to win it back. However, tonight showed another vulnerable side of Jacob Fatu. The star is working with Solo Sikoa at the moment, but he may be the star's weakness at the moment. Tonight, he resulted in another loss for Fatu, as it was Sikoa who took the loss for his team. Backstage, he was left even more frustrated, saying that he didn't have anyone to back Jacob Fatu up because Tama Tonga and Tongaloa were both injured. While he may have been referring to another star arriving, it seems that the star has now been left with no one he can depend on. Solo Sikoa has been alongside Fatu, but has not really helped him much. It could be that Fatu is about to be betrayed, but the coming weeks will confirm it. The wrestling world has long been captivated by the dynamic family bloodlines that run through the Samoan dynasty. From the iconic Wild Samoans to the legendary Wwe family, this lineage has produced some of the most powerful and dominant stars in the industry. At the forefront of this legacy today is the celebrated faction known as the Bloodline, led by Roman Reigns, and including other notable Samoan wrestlers such as Jimmy and JUSO and Solo Sikoa. However, amidst this powerful collective, one name stands apart: Jacob Fatu. Once considered a pivotal part of the family's wrestling saga, Jacob Fatu's current position in the wrestling world has left fans wondering about the shifting dynamics of this legendary bloodline. Jacob Fatu, the son of Samoan legend Tua Fatu, and the nephew of the USOs and Roman Reigns, was once seen as a future star destined for greatness within the same faction that has dominated WWE in recent years. But despite his family ties, something has changed in the current landscape of wrestling. Unlike his family members, Jacob Fatu is now a solo act, finding himself alone despite his connection to Solo Sikoa and the overarching presence of the bloodline. His path has diverged from the family's collective storyline, and this division raises questions about his future and the direction of his career. The rise of Jacob Fatu, a member of wrestling royalty. Jacob Fatu's rise in the wrestling industry seemed almost inevitable given his family lineage. Born into one of the most storied families in wrestling history, Jacob Fatu came up through the ranks of Major League Wrestling, where he quickly garnered attention for his power, athleticism, and undeniable presence in the ring. As part of the dynasty, a faction built around his incredible talents, Fatu became one of the top stars in MLW, particularly with his dominant reign as the MLW World Heavyweight Champion. Fatu's rise in MLW was seen as a natural progression for someone with such immense potential. His hard-hitting style, combined with his raw charisma, made him a fan favorite, and he rapidly ascended to the top of the company. Fans quickly took notice of his ability to blend technical wrestling with his imposing physicality, drawing comparisons to other great Samoan wrestlers who had paved the way before him. The wrestling world was anticipating his eventual crossover into WWE, where his family's legacy could play a significant role in his storyline. In addition to his impressive in-ring career, Fatu's familial ties to Roman Reigns, the USOs, and Solo Sikoa created an air of expectation. The idea of him joining his family in WWE seemed like the perfect way to elevate the Bloodline faction even further. He had the potential to become a formidable force within the faction, adding to their dominance across WWE. The Bloodline and the family dynamics. The Bloodline faction, which includes Roman Reigns, the USO brothers, and Solo Sikoa, has been a defining storyline in WWE for several years. Roman Reigns, as the tribal chief, has led the faction with unmatched power, establishing himself as the face of WWE and holding the Universal Championship for an unprecedented length of time. The USOs have been integral to his success, acting as his loyal allies and co-conspirators in various high-profile storylines. Solo Sikoa, the newest addition to the bloodline, quickly solidified his place as one of the most powerful forces in the group. Debuting on the main roster in 2021, Sikoa was portrayed as a powerhouse with undeniable loyalty to Roman Reigns and his cause. His entrance into the bloodline was seen as an attempt to further unify the faction and dominate WWE's top storylines. For Jacob Fatu, being a part of this family meant being on the cusp of greatness. But something significant has shifted. Despite his blood ties to the faction, Fatu has remained outside of WWE spotlight, while Solo Sikoa has seamlessly integrated into the bloodline. The reason for this divergence is still unclear, but it marks a pivotal moment in Jacob Fatu's career. He is alone now, standing apart from the faction that once seemed like his inevitable home. Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa. The discrepancy in WWE's bloodline. Solo Sikoa's rise to prominence within the bloodline came at a time when WWE was actively expanding its roster and bringing in new stars to keep things fresh. Solo's in-ring style, mixed with his gritty, no-nonsense attitude, immediately made him a fitting addition to the bloodline. His successful integration into the faction has raised questions about why Jacob Fatu, with a similar background and similar family ties, has been left on the sidelines. Jacob Fatu's situation highlights the nuances of professional wrestling booking and the challenges that come with navigating an established faction like the bloodline. WWE's decision to keep Fatu out of the faction may stem from creative choices, timing, and the ongoing development of Solo Sikoa as a standout performer. While Fatu may have the same bloodline and potential, the storyline for the bloodline, led by Roman Reigns, is intricately woven, and introducing a new member at this point could alter the balance of power and dynamics that have been carefully crafted over time. The choice to elevate Solo Sikoa, rather than Jacob Fatu in the faction, also speaks to the delicate nature of family relations within WWE. Though they share the same Samoan wrestling legacy, each member of the bloodline has their own path and narrative to follow. Solo's ascension within WWE has created a vacuum, with Fatu seemingly left behind, unable to find his place within the faction. As Sikoa continues to solidify his place with Reigns, the question remains, why is Jacob Fatu left out of the picture? Fatu's career moving forward. Jacob Fatu is not a wrestler who is easily overlooked, despite his absence from WWE's biggest stage. The power and intensity he has displayed throughout his career in MLW is a testament to his skill and charisma. He is a champion in his own right, having held the MLW World Heavyweight Championship and solidified his place as one of the most dominant figures in the company. His future in wrestling remains bright, though it appears that WWE, for now, may not be in the cards. Fatu's exclusion from the bloodline may be a blessing in disguise. As his cousin Solo Sikoa continues to rise within WWE, Fatu can focus on solidifying his status as an independent powerhouse in wrestling. His status in MLW and other promotions could allow him to continue building his name and fan base, which might lead to future opportunities in WWE on his terms. There is still a possibility that Jacob Fatu could eventually join WWE. However, it would likely need to come after Solo Sikoa's story arc with the bloodline concludes. WWE rarely places multiple members of the same family in the same faction for extended periods, and Fatu's moment may come after Solo has fully established himself as a major player in the company. This strategic patience may be what Fatu needs to rise to prominence in WWE on his own terms, rather than just following in the footsteps of his family. The legacy continues. While Jacob Fatu may find himself alone now, he is far from forgotten. His family legacy, combined with his immense talent, ensures that he will remain a key figure in the wrestling world. Whether in MLW or elsewhere, Fatu's journey is one of resilience, self-reliance, and determination. In time, he may find his own path in WWE, or he may choose to carve out his own legacy outside of the family spotlight.